just 2 games, and it's already out of reckoning. It's so sad.
Bolu, they say the internet never forgets, and one aspect of this whole conundrum that won't be going away anytime soon is the rant of Victor Osimhen, the very disrespectful rant of Victor Osimhen on social media to the person of Finidi George and 2 Nigerians. What do you make of this, and what do you think needs to be done at this time?
Well, the first thing, the support I saw for Victor Osimhen just shows why we are where we are, why we are who we are, because I'm trying to pick up sense from what he did. My conclusion is that thing had nothing to do with the reported quotes. I think, first of all, Finidi or NFF or anybody need to sue the guys that put up the fake story, because there was nowhere that they could prove it that he said this thing. There's no video evidence, no audio evidence, no interview, nothing. And they came up with the quote. Then you yourself, based on the rant, you say, oh, I chatted Finidi at some point. So it means you have constant communication with him. You could speak with Finidi in private. You could speak with the NFF president in private. You have contact with other players. You could have called up something. Boss, this is that. You didn't say anything, decided to go online. Then he said it point blank. I don't care if not true or no be true. It means he knows that this story is probably not true, but in reality, he really messed up 200%. And I saw a quote from someone that I loved, that there should be a code of conduct from the NFF. If there is, I think this should be a sanction of disrespecting, calling him out, Finidi, blah, blah, blah. He has not achieved 20% of what Finidi achieved as a player. We are not talking about age or whatever, and even as a player in terms of career, it's way back. There is no sense in everything Victor Osimhen said in that interview.
Farouk, if I were to be in the position of those close to Victor Osimhen at this time, we expect that in less than 48 hours after that was put out, you tender a public apology. Have something, put it out there on your social media handles for Nigerians. At this time, that would have at least a little bit subtle the mind of Nigerians to say, okay, he is remorseful. But the young man stood his ground, and as we speak, he is here to apologize, and we await what the Nigeria Football Federation, the step they would take to curb this going forward.
Well, I'll be very mindful about my comments here, because honestly, I'm more of an old school than what we see right about now. And it's not even saying, does not make any sense. I would have loved to use those languages the way I want to use it, but just because we want to be TV friendly and not go beyond limits, I'll just try as much as possible to say it this way. Number one, Osimhen does not have any right whatsoever to go out there on social media and rant against anyone. And if you care to listen, I said it yesterday and I'll say it today again that it wasn't about Finidi.
And you might also be saying it twice on public holiday. Yes.
That this guy disrespected not just Finidi, not just the NFF, his own teammates, the coaches, journalists, everybody was saying, I don't know. I don't even know if, because we say a musician that is just like a portable that stalks anyhow. What's the difference between him and that guy?
No,
you went through the rough.
I only hear
you
that.
You went through the rough to get to where you are. And this is what you can do at the age of 23 or 24 years. What has been achieved?
Level
and then the World Cup, you have not qualified us for it. Nations Cup, you didn't win it for us. You were the reason why we failed at Nations Cup. Let us say it the way it is. How many chances did you miss? You are now
more than anybody.
You are now doing like the poster boy. You now have the effort to talk to a guy that qualified Nigeria for 2 World Cups when you were born. That was when, let's say that was when he was born. And Finidi already achieved that height. Coming out to call your coach Finidi, not just once. Come on, that is disrespect. Can he do this at Napoli? He was abused, was mocked on social media.
Not once, not twice in Napoli.
This guy didn't come out to say anything. And he was going free, like a free bird. It wasn't even asked to stop.
Bolu, Farouk, I'm still coming to you. Bolu, what should be the steps at this time? What must the NFF do, especially to Victor Osimhen? Because this must not be allowed to slide. We must set a precedent going forward. Or else, I remember I said on one platform that, are we expected to wait until he slaps the NFF president, Ibrahim Gusau, before he is reprimanded? At this time, what must be done to Victor Osimhen? I said something. I said, I would rather watch Nigeria not qualify for the World Cup. It was painful, than watch a Victor Osimhen return to that team without any form of remorse.
The truth is, let's start this way. Does the NFF even have a code against indiscipline? Because we said every time you call up players stroll into camp whenever they want. Even this last call-up, camp opened on Saturday. Many players, about 8 of them, got to camp on Tuesday, Wednesday. So I don't even think there's disciplinary measures in the NFF. There has to be some. Because he will insult the next manager that comes out to say, I can't beg players to play for me.
Is it wrong to say that?
Yeah.
There's no manager should beg a player to play for you naturally. So there has to be discipline. Either fine, which many said it doesn't make any sense, because it will be a slap on the wrist for them, or suspend him maybe for a month. The truth is the best player or the best number 9 in Nigeria, no doubt. But without Osimhen, Nigeria have succeeded. Before he started playing, Nigeria have qualified for tournaments. When he retires, or if he doesn't, the AFCON, he didn't come. Nigeria still went on to play at that tournament. Interestingly, we are blessed with loads of strikers. So I think there has to be a sanction. Either a ban for certain number of games, or certain number of weeks or months, or a hefty fine. But we can't just let this slide. At this point, an apology is not even enough, because he will do it again. There are lots of things we hear off the field that some players do this, Osimhen do this, but because some of them are not on record, we can't talk about it. But this one that we have, remember just a few years ago, he insulted Victor Ikpeba as well for saying something that you could have done A and B to have scored this type of goal. Ikpeba was called the prince of Monaco. He knows some things about goals. You insulted him, called him Magbaya, called him Lotto. Many supported him in that one. But for this one now, it means if you're a first-time offender, okay, maybe it happens. Like you rightly said, if you continue like this, it may end up slapping the NFF president.
Interesting. Farouk, I remember, let me take you back to 2012. En route to the 2013 AFCON, the Super Eagles were camped somewhere in Port Harcourt. They were training at the UGA Swene Stadium then in Port Harcourt. And I believe I was privileged. That happens to be my early days. I'm still in school, but still trying to find my ways around the journalism. Blessed memory, my brother Felix Okugbe was around, and I was privileged myself and a few of my other cousins went with him to cover the Eagles. My first time of watching Stephen Keshi relate with the players. I remember there was a turn, Obuabuna wants to do in the course of the training, and he couldn't perfect it. And in the full glare of the media, it was an open day. Stephen Keshi told him, in presence of everybody, that when we say 3 people they do at the same time, why would you be able to turn? You can't even turn because you do 3 at the same time. I'm telling you, my guy, go and sit down. It was embarrassing to those of us that were there. And a model is Stephen Keshi. That is how they relate with the players. And I tell you, the player took it with a pinch of salt and started running again. A Victor Osimhen or the generation of players we have at this time
Coach,
would have gone out of the pitch and even thrown their jersey at the manager.
It's simple. Social media. Then there was nothing like that. It was just coming into existence, especially here in this country. 2012, that's way time back. And I feel that it's not even his fault. It is those that support him with all of their mind blind on social media. I'm not going to regret saying this. I can watch it anywhere in the world. I don't get anything from anybody. I just go out there and do my own job because whatever I earn is more than enough for me. I will not go to supervisors come and start begging for an interview from players that are supposed to make themselves ready and able for us. You run after them, they embarrass you on social media, they become friends, and you start worshiping. I can't go against them. That is the reason why Osimhen has grown to this level. He feels that there's some guys that can always be there for him. You pay their bills and they start, run after him. He did something terrible and people are still going after him, covering, everything he's doing. But I just feel that it's not on us. It's not on the journalists. It's on the NFF to know exactly what is right for them to do. No English player can try this. Even the likes of Maguire, the likes of Saka, we are abused, even to death points. These guys never went on social media and started abusing anybody. But it's just where we have found ourselves. The code of conduct is there. Let them follow it. That's just it. Honestly, I'm just tired of player walking into 24 hours before the game. How are we going to win the match?